Aberdeen end 17 years of cup hurt at the hands of Celtic. It's been 15 games without a win against the side from the East End of Glasgow in all competitions. Aberdeen due a win. They thought they had it at Pittodrie 9 days ago. It was snatched away late on by Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink. Can they come here to the East End of Glasgow and silence what is a decent crowd for a Tuesday night replay here at Celtic Park? Both the goals in the first meeting coming late on in the encounter, very late in Celtic's case. Interesting to see what sort of approach we have here from Aberdeen in the early stages. You'd expect them to look to keep it tight early on, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think they'll try and get through the first 10-15 minutes. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's true. Try and keep the crowd quiet. That's the first thing you try and do.
Scott Brown swept in neatly by Aidan McGeady. Here's Donati. Point to prove, really, Massimo Donati, after a lot of criticism, particularly after his contribution out in the Nou Camp.
Well, I think of the two central midfield players, Donati will sit a little bit deeper. Scott Brown will be the one who will be asked to link with the front two. But I don't think Aberdeen will want to drop off too deep and allow this fellow onto the edge of the penalty box, as we saw there just now.
He's already tasted the scoring feeling against Aberdeen once this season. In fact, it was his first goal for Celtic that came in the meeting earlier on this season up at Pittodrie. Mackie for Nicholson. Vennegoor of Hesselink. Aidan McGeady. McDonald. Neat movement from Celtic, who of course should be the better rested side after the postponement of their match at Motherwell at the weekend. Only hanging ball in there for Vennegoor of Hesselink to attack, and this will come down for Scott McDonald. Stabbed away by Considine. Early pressure on the Aberdeen goal from Celtic.
I just wonder if Derek Suter could have come for the cross from Lee Naylor. The ball's in the air an awful long time.
Darren Mackie, one of those three changes that Jimmy Calderwood is able to make to his side, and the injury to Jeffrey de Vischer, a blow, but as Davey said a little earlier on, I wouldn't have too many arguments if you said that they generally strengthened the side in most of the positions that they've come in on, as will this man for Celtic, Scott Brown. Donati. Caldwell. Supporters here at Celtic feeling, after the winless march so far, that their side owes them a performance. A thumping win here would set them back on track for what is going to be a very interesting end to the season as they desperately defend their double. Naylor, good whipped-in ball. Vennegoor of Hesselink got across his man. Couldn't find the target this time, though.
Terrific cross from Naylor, who crosses the ball as well as any natural wide player. Comes in at a great height, plenty of pace on it. Vennegoor of Hesselink is, well, a fraction of a yard on Considine here, who's caught slightly on his heels. Can't quite keep it down, but even this early in the match, a few alarm bells ringing, I'm sure, for Jimmy Calder, with Celtic getting a bit of joy down that left-hand side.
We had so many of the elements required to pull off what is ultimately a cup shock in the first meeting 9 days ago. They played out of their skins, Aberdeen. They rode their luck with Celtic again and again hitting their post or their bar as they launched attacks late on in the game. But just couldn't finish the job off. Here's Tuzani. He has impressed in the heart of midfield, keeping his place in the side. Mabry. It's going to be a free kick. Caldwell on Miller.
I don't know if there's any intention, but it's a needless free kick to give away from Gary Caldwell. He's got Lee Miller exactly where he wants him. A chance for Aberdeen to drop something into the back post here.
We saw Zander Diamond draw a clearance off the line. Andreas Hinkel in the first meeting, he's come up. So too has Andrew Considine. They've got the physical presence of Lee Miller as well. Severin and Nicholson standing over it. Severin will take it, looking for Zander Diamond. Hesselink back there. McNamara. It's been an unhappy season for him back in Scottish football. Jackie McNamara hasn't had injury after injury. He'll hope that he can play a part in what's left of the season. A real favourite here during his many successful and trophy-laden years. Long throw by Severin. Caldwell defended it well. Here's McDonald. McGeady on the move, with Menace down the left. Lee Naylor recovered from the illness. Paul Hartley, by the way, missing for Celtic tonight because he's been taken ill in the last 24 hours, not even among the substitutes. Now Nakamura, Hinkle with the overlap. Nakamura looks in field though. Scott Brown, Scott McDonald, Hinkle. Going to have to do a lot of defending, keeping an eye on their man, and that is exactly what Severin did, helping make up the numbers at the back. Nakamura slipped through to Scott McDonald. Hinkle. Celtic fizzing it around well on a pretty good pitch, watered well before kick-off as well to give it that zip that the home side so enjoy. McGeady.
It's not the worst ball in the world. He's dropped into the back post. Not a great deal of pace on him, but he's entitled to think somebody's going to attack the back post. A little crossover there you see between McDonald and Vennegoor of Hesling, but when it comes in, Vennegoor of Hesling is far too central there. Leaves himself with nothing to attack.
3 games without a win for Gordon Strachan and Celtic. How costly they will be played out over the coming weeks. What we do know is that European ambitions ended emphatically by Barcelona. A damaging draw here against Dundee United last week. About it, there'll be more of a test than they had at home against Gretna, but it was a welcome clean sheet for Aberdeen at the weekend. Their first, in fact, since they booked their place in this quarter-final with the win against Hamilton. Considine. He's got enough on it. Nakamura, Vennegoor of Hesseling. Invites Hinkle to join the attacking party. Now Donati. McManus has missed a game this season for club and country, and one of the host of Celtic players in George Burley's squad for the up-and-coming international against Croatia next week.
This is going to be a good contest down this side, Bill, tonight. McGeady against Alan Maybury. I thought Maybury was terrific against the Celtic wide boy 9 days ago. I think I can only remember one occasion where Aidan McGeady skinned him. And that'll be a big responsibility for him tonight to stop service coming into the box down that side.
Easy to forget that Alan Maybury was part of that very talented bunch of youngsters coming through at Leeds United, the likes of Harry Kewell, tasted, although he was on the fringes of the first team, Champions League action during the heydays of Leeds United as they lived the dream, as their chairman at the time put it. Nicholson. McNamara. Foster, who's pushed forward from left back to accommodate the return of Jackie McNamara. Tuzani. Dutchman a little wayward, and the German will collect and throw in for Celtic. Andreas Hinkle. Vennegoor of Hesseling. Maybury on his way back, able to cut out the danger from Vennegoor of Hesseling, who's back in the starting lineup. I do sense that Gordon Strachan, since the arrival of Georgios Samaras, has the luxury of a challenge for Vennegoor of Hesseling for that starting place. Still seems to be just ahead by a neck, the big Dutchman, from the younger man, Georgios Samaras. There is Vennegoor of Hesseling. Now Naylor. Across comes Jackie McNamara. 3 times this season these two sides have met in the league. Aberdeen conceding 11 goals and scoring just 2. You look at Aberdeen's away form as well, it doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Haven't won an away match in any competition since December, when they snuck a 1-0 win at St Mirren. That the only win in the last 14 games as well. Jimmy Calderwood might say that a lot of the performances have been better than the results. Certainly they were very good in the last trip to Glasgow a couple of weeks back, when they troubled Rangers, and they could trouble Celtic here. He caught thin air there, didn't he, Nicholson, as he came onto it?
Great knockdown from Lee Miller. Nice diagonal thrown in. Miller made it his into a terrific area, and Lee Naylor did ever so well to get round.
McNamara, Tuzani, Zander Diamond.
Miller really is the key for Aberdeen in terms of, Charlie was talking early on about where they're going to defend. They're only going to get up to the halfway line if the ball sticks to Miller. You know, if they can find him and he holds it in, it gets the midfield and the back line right up the pitch.
There were so many standout performances by the Aberdeen players in the initial tie, weren't there? But Lee Miller's contribution up front, Derek Souters at the back, two of the standout ones. Naylor. Wonderful reaction from it. Jimmy Calderwood, the Aberdeen manager, and his side were pegged back late on. On reflection, though, he'd be happy to get another chance to take on Celtic, even though the odds even more firmly stacked against his side coming here to Glasgow. Miller wins the header. Hinkle. Nakamura. Andres Hinkle. This is Donati. And pressure put on him by Miller. McManus. Severin. Mackie, Miller, Tuzani. Cut out by Caldwell, collected by Brown. This is Hinkle. McDonald. No question of Scott McDonald getting any time on the ball there. McGeady taking the long way round Alan Mabry and still unable to shake him off.
It's good pressure from Mabry, and that's exactly where I want to meet Aidan McGeady, on the halfway line. You won't want McGeady backing him up into the last third.
Naylor trying to thread one in behind with a long throw. Zander Diamond gets assistance from Alan Mabry. Tuzani. Pressure applied by Scott Brown. Mabry. Well, objective number one for Aberdeen would have been not to concede a sloppy early goal. They've had that worrying moment, Vennegoor of Hesseling getting across his marker but heading wide. Other than that, Jimmy Calderwood and his team will be pretty pleased with what they've produced so far. Very early days, of course, and a reminder that this one could go all the way. Extra time if required, penalties will follow if required. Either way, we will have a winner. We will have a semi-finalist to meet Queen of the South by the time we finish here this evening. Last time Aberdeen won the cup, it was against Celtic, of course, 17 years ago. Also the last time that they beat Celtic in this competition. Had to go back even further than that for their last win on this ground in this competition. 1979 it was. Steve Archibald with the winning goal. Scott McDonald. Nakamura. Vennegoor of Hesseling. McDonald keeps it alive, finds Donati.
Well, it's a poor effort on his weaker side, but he had plenty of time to get the shot away. Good patient build-up from Celtic, both strikers involved. Eventually they drop it back, and he doesn't really get his foot through the ball, Donati, but once again he's on the edge of the Aberdeen box.
Big Dutchman wins the header, and the little Australian collects. Slip by Brown. Severin hoped to capitalise. There's Ricky Foster trying to add a little bit of bite to the Aberdeen cause. Miller. Donati beaten out of it by Severin. Here's Barry Nicholson. Tuzani. Mabry. And they get Aidan McGeady on the back foot.
He's never happy, is he, Jimmy? But he'll be glad he's through the first 15 minutes here without any damage. I think they've settled into the game reasonably well, Aberdeen.
Zonderdaarment. Here's Foster.
Oh, he didn't want to take it on his left foot, did he? Because when it arrived, all he had to do was get his left foot through it, but didn't fancy it here. By the time he walks onto his right foot, he's being squeezed by Donati.
He played his part, Ricky Foster, in one of the glory nights that Aberdeen have had this season, that home win against Copenhagen in the UEFA Cup. Chipped in one of the 4 goals. It's been an extraordinary season of highs and lows, hasn't it, for Aberdeen? Desperately disappointing their league position, but at the same time, they've taken on the cream of the continent in the UEFA Cup. Copenhagen, of course, came here and only narrowly edged out here last season in the Champions League by Celtic. Donati. Nakamura's coming off the right wing. And here's Hinkle. Venegorov Hesseling. Now Shunsuke Nakamura, running amount of time in the box from an Aberdeen point of view. And out comes Suter.
Well, they invited pressure on themselves, a slack ball out of defence. I think it was Andrew Considine. They were under not a great deal of pressure, gave possession away, and eventually they had to rely on Suter, who was absolutely outstanding in the first game.
Miller, Foster. And 2 to take on there, Ricky Foster, and the weight of numbers just played in Celtic's favour. Well, barring the blip at Clyde, Celtic have enjoyed themselves in this competition, haven't they, over the last few seasons? 3 times winners in the last 4 years. No one has won it as many times as them. They're hoping to take another step towards their 54th Scottish Cup final.
I'm a little surprised to see Celtic have had 60% of the ball, but it's what they've done with it. And so far, you wouldn't say that either side has really threatened, made a clean chance. I don't think Jimmy Calderwood will be expecting to have the lion's share of the ball anyway tonight.
He won't be expecting to have too many chances either. When they do come, he'll be hoping that his boys in red can make them count. Severin's long throw, a very good weapon to have in their armoury. Donati. Here's Andrew Considine. Good closing by Scott McDonald. He's only going to be building up his air miles in the next week or so. Off to play in China with Australia. He's found the man from Japan here, Nakamura. Terrific recovering challenge there. Tuzani tracking back all the way.
He did really well because Considine is caught here. He loses Scott McDonald from the right-hand side. And when he comes into Nakamura, he can't quite get out of his feet. He's trying to get onto his right side to get the shot away. The first touch was a costly one. And Tuzani did well to track back.
First Celtic corner, Shunsuke Nakamura. Usual suspects in the usual positions here for Celtic. Venegorov, Hesseling, McManus. Caldwell is up, Donati to Scott Brown at the near post. Nakamura able to repel their borders there. Nakamura gets a good angle on that one. Brown beaten to it by Nicholson. Tuzani, is there a counter-attack on here for Aberdeen? It's Ricky Foster. And he picked the ball to Mackie, which is the only one on here. Not a bad effort.
Well, he didn't give him much to attack, Bill. It's just hung up there. It should have been drilled across because Mackie was the only target he had.
Naylor. McGeady. Foul on Lee Naylor, a free kick for the home side. The road is a fair distance away. The likes of McGeady and Nakamura, and the height they have coming forward from the back as well as that up front from Venegorov and Hesseling. Situations like this equals danger for Aberdeen.
It's where they end up by the time the ball comes into the penalty box. Probably on top of their goalkeeper here, where they're liable to lose one from a header.
Nakamura to deliver. Great ball in. Venegor of Hesseling got the free header, but couldn't beat the goalkeeper.
He plays with one of his own players, I think it's Scott McDonald, to run across each other. I don't think Scott McDonald knows he's coming. Did Aberdeen a favour.
Well, he's set the standard so high, hasn't he? Celtic's top scorer in terms of scoring goals this season, Scott McDonald. He's currently in the worst run of goal-scoring form since he's joined the club. Sounds desperate, but it's only 4 games without a goal. And it's testament to how consistent he's been. (25 in 41) the tally in all competitions for Scott McDonald this season. 3 of those coming in the Scottish Cup. Foster, Severin. Important block by Caldwell. Naylor will get there first, and Aidan McGeady can go up through the gears here for Celtic. McDonald, the runner, to his left-hand side. He's got Venegor of Hesseling here. Trying to return the pass, but when it reached the Dutchman, it just ran out of a little bit of puff, the Celtic attack.
Didn't really get his head up, Venegor of Hesseling, but terrific run from McGeady.
Aberdeen know only so well about the threat posed by Aidan McGeady. Put on a real virtuoso display up at Pittodrie earlier on this year in that wonderful 5-1 win for Celtic. Nakamura, great ball, Venegor of Hesseling, great chance.
Oh, Xander Diamond caught on his heels there. Venegor of Hesseling makes the run in behind him, and he's completely caught. The weight of this pass is exquisite. He's onside, he's level. Surprised he didn't allow it across his body and try and nurse it in with the inside of his left foot. Wants to take it early with his right, and the body language is all wrong, and just as well for Xander Diamond, who lost the striker completely.
Well, just as with the first leg, they're going to need to ride their luck. They're going to have nervous moments, Aberdeen, if they're going to pull off the improbable here at Celtic Park tonight. Half of this first half gone, still goalless, still very much alive. Both these sides' hopes in the Scottish Cup. Nakamura, Donati, Hinkle, Brown, Nakamura started to float around to try and make things happen for Celtic. He's on the same side here as Aidan McGeady. Scott McDonald. Hinkle. Brown's touch. Well, intriguing race up here in the SPL, but even more so in the Barclays Premier League. Live action, Manchester United look to pick up valuable points at the top, and Bolton need them at the bottom. It's live tomorrow, 7:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Here's Aidan McGeady. Tuzani. Mabry. Hinkle. McDonald. Well, he's won the free kick.
Maybe fortunate to get it. He's meeting the sandwich, but you see the ball is won pretty cleanly here.
Well, the same referee tonight, by the way, who was in charge of the initial meeting, Charlie Richmond. Celtic have never lost when he's been in charge of one of their games. And Aberdeen changed that here this evening. McGeady. Caldwell. And the ball here for Scott McDonald. Just lost his footing at the crucial moment.
Considine did well to track the run of Venegor of Hesseling. Makes a good run, and McDonald was aware of it, but Considine matched it.
Nakamura. Vennegoor of Hesselink looking for the return. Bodies back for Aberdeen. Danger averted again. There's no doubt about it, Aberdeen will have watched Dundee United come here last week and get a point, frustrate Celtic. He'll have watched the Tangerines in action as well at the weekend and give Old Firm opposition a real fright in the League Cup final. And Jimmy Calderwood saying before the game that likes of his clubs can't match the Old Firm over the course of the season, but on one-off encounters, why not? That was very much illustrated by the first meeting, wasn't it, of these two? Sander Darmit. Brown. Hinkle. Nakamura. Tizani hasn't let too much get beyond him as he's done his fair share of defensive work.
It's going to be a long night for him. Scott Brown, arguably the most mobile player on the Celtic side. He'll go all night. And Tizani will have to match every single one of those runs.
McDonald, Nakamura, Vennegoor of Hesselink. Aidan McGeady. No way beyond Barry Nicholson. Scott Severin. There's the tigerish hunting of Scott Brown. Nervous moments as Suter dawdled.
I think we can take it. He doesn't have a left foot, Derek Suter. Always tricky, I think, at this time of the season when the goalmouths are so threadbare to knock it back to the goalkeeper anyway.
His form has meant that Jamie Langford hasn't had a look in recently. That goes the flag against Vennegoor of Hesselink.
Well, at times they have to be brave, Aberdeen. They have to hold their line. The choice is either step up and look for the offside or match the run, and say, well, there's not a lot in that.
Miller's underneath this one. Mackie just going the wrong way. Hoisted by McManus. Considine, touched on by Tuzani. Foster. McDonald, now Donati. Now Aidan McGeady for Celtic. Naylor tanking forward to increase Celtic's attacking options here. McGeady.
I think he took a bobble. I think the surface did him there. Once again, Barry Nicholson back in front of Maybury, providing a little bit of cover here. I don't know whether he sat up or not. Certainly not like Eddie McGeady to squander a chance to throw it in. But he knows he's got his work cut out against Alan Maybury. He got very little out of him at Pittodrie. And very little joy so far tonight.
Like you said, David, it's a fascinating battle, and those two have picked up where they've left off. McDonald. Here's Donati. Massimo Donati. The Italian trying to find some space. It comes off Scott McDonald, hooked away by Sander Darmit.
Just an awkward ricochet there. It came off Diamond, I think twice, and almost fell for Scott McDonald. But that's the danger. At times Aberdeen will have to defend their 6-yard box, and that's where they're liable to lose one from a header, particularly from Vennegoor of Hesselink. Not going to be asked of the two Aberdeen centre-backs when it does come in from the wide areas.
It's been one of the problems this season, hasn't it? The number of goals they've conceded, particularly in the league. Only Gretna down at the bottom have conceded more than them. Pressure applied here by Vennegoor of Hesselink. He felt he might have had a little bit of a nudge in the back. Charlie Richmond not impressed. Maybury. Severin and Brown, another interesting little duel out there. Donati. Great run this by Massimo Donati. Not the great finish though.
Just starting to come back at Aberdeen now. They're struggling to find Miller. They were getting it up to him earlier on in the match, but it's coming back to them now.
Brown. Hinkle. Having negotiated the first half hour, Aberdeen's next target, I'm sure, is to get their way through to half-time with damage limitation. Wave after wave of attacks they launched here last week against Dundee United with no joy at all. Here comes another one tonight. Aidan McGeady at the heart of it. Scott McDonald. Strong defending by Zander Diamond.
I don't think he's ever going to get a penalty there, Scott McDonald. Coming together, Diamond leaning in. You're not going to see that given inside the box.
Will be Nakamura's corner. Madison Caldwell hover at the edge of that penalty area with Vennegoor of Hesselink. They're the three runners here. McDonald! It's another corner.
Just remarkable how often this little fella gets room in that area of the pitch, right in the central area. And there's very little of him. I think he drops off Maybury. He usually starts in front of the goalkeeper, drops off. It is Alan Maybury. Doesn't quite get enough on it, but he wins so many in that central area.
The Australian Predator very nearly pouncing again. Nakamura, this time it's dealt with at the near post. Nakamura again providing the ammunition, this time it's a little blunter than before. Hinkle. Sustained Celtic pressure at the moment. Naylor, Nakamura. They'd have known it was going to be like this, Aberdeen. They need to start finding a way out, don't they?
Yeah, well, they've certainly got to start keeping the ball a little bit better than they have been for the last 10 minutes or so.
Maybury looking for Foster. Just won't stick up front for them at the moment, though.
Well, Celtic much the busier of the two sides in front of goal. No surprise from that. I think Jimmy Calderwood himself will feel that if the defenders deep as they are at the moment, Celtic will get them eventually. They have to try and get out.
It's been a long winning sequence for Celtic over Aberdeen. They've won their last 7 meetings since that win here by 3-2 in October of 2004. Darren Mackie, who's playing out front tonight alongside Lee Miller, one of the scorers in that win. Do you have players out there who knows what it feels like to be on the winning side here, albeit in league rather than cup? Foster up towards Miller. Hungrier than Donati to get there. Aidan McGeady. Tuzani, his first barrier, he's beyond him. Tuzani suddenly pulled back at him. The referee's given the free kick rather than play advantage yet.
Well, I'd be surprised if it's not a booking, otherwise I don't know why Charlie Richmond pulled the play back. Well, Aidan McGeady's in a good position. He gets goal side of Tuzani. I don't know why the referee stops the game here.
Lucky to escape a booking there, perhaps. Naylor floats it in. Vennegoor of Hesselink rises highest. McManus, Vennegoor of Hesselink just couldn't get the touch on the ball he wanted. Now Nakamura. Slip in the box. Away by Zander Diamond. It's going to be a mightily long 10 minutes or so for Aberdeen until half-time if it continues like this. Here's Donati. Nakamura. Brown. McGeady. The Deflected, Celtic corner.
Good cover again from Barry Nicholson, who's just going to have to sacrifice himself tonight. Either to double up on McGeady or match the running down the outside of Lee Naylor. But he's getting very little opportunity himself to support Lee Miller and Darren Mackie at the other end of the pitch.
Celtic's corner count continues to rise. In the last 10 minutes of the first half, Nakamura over the head of Severin, and McManus swerves there to meet it.
Well, Diamond was never going to win it, but he just had to make sure he applied a bit of pressure here. Make sure that Steve McManus wasn't getting it all his own way. Diamond stood on his right heel there as McManus made the run.
So the centre halves locking horns inside the Aberdeen box. Scott Brown gives away a free kick here. Rare chance for Aberdeen to try and create something to worry their hosts. Mabry's going to take it. Centre halves are forward, Considine and Underdarmond. Mackie and Miller. Miller met it, but it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Nothing he could do with that. I think he's at full extension there. He can only help it on. He can't take any of the pace off the ball at all here. Playing a little bit deeper, Considine's get something to go and attack.
Well, it's not often that Celtic slip up at home. Just 2 defeats here this season. One, that thrilling one to Barcelona. And the men from Catalonia really turned on the style in the Champions League. The other disappointment in the other domestic cup competition as they were beaten 2-0 here by Hearts. Another match that Aberdeen have looked to for encouragement that it can be done. An improbable task, but far from impossible for the men from the northeast. Celtic throw. Caldwell. McManus and Naylor will be hoping to end tonight with a smile on his face to take into what is his 28th birthday tomorrow. McGeady, a few years his junior still. It's amazing to think he's still only 21, Aidan McGeady. Young player of the year here at Celtic for the last 3 seasons, and probably the favourite to be player of the year this year. His contribution cannot be underestimated. They've needed him so far, and they're going to need him in the run-in, that's for sure. Caldwell. Brown. Hinkle. Ever mobile McDonald. Nakamura, clever ball into Jan Vennegoor of Hesseling. Real chance here for Celtic. Here comes McDonald! Shaved the outside of the post almost.
Well, it gets away from Considine. Considine doesn't match the run. As it's knocked into Vennegoor of Hesseling, he needs support here. There's nowhere to go, but look at McDonald. Considine can't match the run. Well, I'll tell you what, his favourite to score there, we're right behind that. And I thought he would have scored there. Doesn't get his foot around the ball. And by his standards, that's a bad miss.
Must hit target. Tuzani certainly hasn't been overawed on what is his first match here at Celtic Park. McGeady. Yet again, Mabry for very close company. Hinkle. Donati. Caldwell. Vennegoor of Hesseling. He's had the lion's share of Celtic's chances in this first half, and Celtic most certainly have had the lion's share of those created in the match. Nakamura fizzed into Venegor of Hesselink.
Well, Zander Diamond was looking for offside against Venegor of Hesselink as it was played up to him. I just wondered if one of the fullbacks didn't get up in time. As it's played, he's a yard off.
Miller and McManus. Mackie. Tuzani. Too hard. Nakamura. Some of the passes he's fizzing in from midfield, starting to cause the Aberdeen defence real problems. Hinkle looking a little more direct for McDonald. He was trying to flick it into the path of Brown. Venegor of Hesselink, eluded by Severin. Nakamura with the challenge. Now Donati. Now Celtic would love to have a lead to take into half-time. Aberdeen will be desperate to hold on to what they've got at the moment. He's keen in the build-up to the game, Jimmy Calderwood, not to play down this match as Celtic having all the pressure on them. He felt that his side very much had their season resting on this one match. Aidan McGeady combining with Nakamura. Tuzani eventually dispossessing Aidan McGeady. Mackie. Foster. Mackie. Lovely feint by Nicholson to leave Donati behind. Mabry joins the attack. Well, plenty of men in the middle here for Aberdeen, and just taken away from Nicholson. What an important contribution that was from the Celtic captain.
Well, it's one we see continually from Stephen McManus, who defends the front post regularly, ever so well, and once again that's where we find him. Nicholson, who won the ball from Donati, had continued his run into the box. But for McManus, he has a chance there.
Well, Aberdeen, who've been on the back foot for most of the half, have a corner. Celtic haven't cleared it. Zander Diamond, Scott Severin.
I don't know whether that's a shot or a pass. By the way, it's a poor effort from Scott Severin. And I think Jimmy Calderwood will just be glad to see Aberdeen in the Celtic half of the pitch.
It's not been a particularly frequent sight in this first half.
I think the problem they have, Bill, is that the Celtic have worked on either side, and when Celtic knock it wide, the two Aberdeen centre-backs automatically drop off to give themselves a better angle to attack any crosses coming in, and that's what's drawing them deeper into their own half.
It's a double-edged sword though, isn't it? Do they dare play the game a little higher up the pitch? Squeeze Celtic a little. Assuming that the scoreline stays like this for the couple of minutes left plus stoppage time, Jimmy Calderwood will be relatively satisfied with what he's seen. Venegor of Hesselink just went out of play from Zander Diamond's challenge. Naylor. Another fizz ball, Venegor of Hesselink, McDonald! The offside flag was up.
Well, Venegor of Hesselink did well to knock it down, and Andrew Considine's hand was up immediately looking for offside. In fact, he's well onside. Jackie McNamara on this side played him on.
Well, plenty of Scottish talent on show for the Scotland manager to survey as he prepares for his first match in charge of the national side. Caldwell, who doesn't miss much football for his club, hoping to be in the starting lineup for his country. Scott Brown, another. Hasn't tinkered with too much, has he, George Burley, as he looks to keep the spirit that took Scotland so close to qualification. Oh, real error here. They couldn't capitalise though as Foster came forward.
I thought he should have done better, Bill. That's my first reaction there. Thought he had a bit more time. I think he's maybe got one eye on Arthur Boric. Thinks he's going to be clattered, and he had a bit more time than he thought. Steve McManus short with the pass back. Oh, I think he's got more time there to get it under control. He's got one eye on the big pole coming his way.
Well, that is a let-off for Celtic, no doubt about that. We saw Rangers keep their cup hopes alive at the weekend in the final. Very generous back pass from Mark Kerr for Dundee United. You see by the reaction of Stephen McManus that he knew how close that had come. But nothing between the two sides at half-time. Chances have been mostly Celtic's, but that one right at the end from Ricky Foster, the best that Aberdeen have seen. Still very much up for grabs, a place in the semi-finals. Celtic 0, Aberdeen 0 at half-time.
Thanks, Bill. Yes, goalless here at Celtic Park. Who wants to win it? The place in the semi-finals is up for grabs. That is the prize tonight. In a moment, the thoughts of Charlie Nicholas. But at half-time, well, which manager is happier? Who can break the deadlock? Strachan's been taking notes. He might change things. Jimmy Calderwood has had the usual variation of emotions. It's goalless at Celtic.
International football next Wednesday, 7:30 on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Fabio Capello's England against France. And on Sky Sports 2 and HD2, George Burley's first game in charge of Scotland.
The ball's in the back of the net.
Against Croatia.
He's done it again! Remy!
A night of international football kicking off with Scotland under-21s v Finland under-21s next Wednesday from 5:30 Sky Sports 1.
If you hit me at 40 miles an hour, there's around an 80% chance I'll die. Hit me at 30 and there's around an 80% chance I'll live.
For Glasgow, turn left. Take the next right. Continue straight on. Keep going straight on. Now, enjoy.
The Peugeot 207. For a 24-hour test drive, text 24 to 60222. Peugeot, the drive of your life.
So, she's got the house, the car, the lot.
You're gonna get yourself online, mate. Find someone else. Listen, Tiscali are doing their best ever broadband deal at the moment. Up to 8 meg superfast broadband, a free wireless router, and weekend calls to UK and top international destinations. All for just $6.49 a month.
My friend really fancies you.
Unbelievable.
I know. Broadband for $6.49.
For superfast broadband from just $6.49, call Tiscali now on 0800 107 9000.
Conservatories are the place to unwind in. But for total relaxation, you need the Leisurely Lounger. Now, this might look like any old lounger until you switch it on. As well as everyday tasks, but also massages. And it's so relaxing, uplifting. So, Rachel, how was it for you? Where's she gone?
For an ingenious invention that really does work, try Pilkington Active Self-Cleaning Glass.
Excuse me, miss?
Yeah, what can I get you guys?
Yeah, we need a woman's opinion.
See, we say the first thing a woman notices about a guy is his shoes.
And you're all wearing Skechers. Nice.
Wow. Yeah, I told you.
No way.
And then?
For me, personality.
Which means you two guys are in trouble.
Whoa.
Nice.
Every day, 9-year-old Editsa sets out on the hour-long journey to fetch water from the river. What she carries back is equal to half her body weight. With World Vision, you can sponsor a child like Editsa for just 60p a day, but what you feel in return is priceless.
Just to provide clean water, I do feel a sense of pride that these small contributions that I'm making is making such a difference to somebody else's life.
What will you feel when you sponsor a child with World Vision? Call 0800 50 1010 now, or visit worldvision.org.uk.
Yeah, so I was thinking perhaps if we went during the Easter holidays. I mean, that would be lovely. Because I've got something to do. Very good. So, second week of March will suit us better, and then that ties in with half term.
Confused.com is going to give somebody £1 million. Simply go to confused.com, get a quote for your car insurance
or home insurance,
and you'll be automatically entered into our prize draw. Even if your insurance isn't due, get a quote now and you'll still be entered.
How good is that?
Anyone who needs car or home insurance can enter. As long as they don't work for confused.com, obviously.
Eh? What? Oh. You could win £1 million with confused.com.
It's 10% day this Thursday at Homebase. That means there's 10% off everything, even on top of all our great offers. Homebase, make a house a home.
You are not going to believe what's just happened.
I know, look, 2 pens in the first 5 minutes.
Sky Bet. It matters more when there's money on it.
More live football coming your way tomorrow. Manchester United going for the Premier League title against Bolton, hoping to stay in the Premier League. 7:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. At Celtic Park this Tuesday night, it's the Scottish Cup and it's a quarter-final replay between Celtic and Aberdeen, and it's goalless right now at the break. Charlie Nicholas, as always, is with me tonight. Charlie, did you expect more from both of those sides?
I expected a lot more from Celtic. I thought Aberdeen would start the game rather cautiously and try and get their line to see if they can get out, as David Provan was agreeing with me in commentary. If they can get Miller with the flick-ons or holding up, they can stretch the game a little bit. And it's not such a worry for them because Celtic are not blessed with great pace at the back. But the problem is then what can they do with the midfield areas, how big the gaps are. There's been a couple of big gaps that are worrying for Aberdeen. So they're quite happy going in at 0-0 at half-time with a good chance, although Foster had won. But Celtic, they look as if, I can't say they're tired, Jim, because they're going to try and keep themselves in this cup, and they're trying to go there and catch Rangers in the league title. So, you know, it's not tiredness. It's as if there's a lack of zip, a lack of coordination about them, and it's not good enough.
Certainly a lack of zip, possibly, with the best will in the world in his finishing regarding Scott McDonald. I mean, normally, earlier in the season, is this the sort of chance that he'd have slotted?
Well, I mentioned him before kick-off. He's not been playing as well. And it's the massive space that suddenly they create. And Hesselink does well, to be fair to him. I mean, it's a bad miss. It's a really bad miss. He's not under extreme pressure, and he's been under worse pressure than that and found a finish. I mean, he's had a big season. I'm taking nothing away from Scott McDonald. But you can just see that there's just not that ruthless streak that we once seen. Everybody can go up the boil. But just generally, like Celtic, Nakamura, quiet, subdued. Midfield, nothing from Brown, nothing from Donati. That was tailor-made, that chance we just seen from McDonald, for Scott Brown arriving right on cue. It's just not materialising.
And then just before the break, Aberdeen, presented a real chance on a plate by Stephen McManus. Now, should Richard Foster have done better here?
Oh, absolutely. He takes his eye. Watch McManus's hands go on there to pass back. Look, oh no, what have I done?
He predicts well enough, Foster, but he can't do anything about it.
But what he does is that he's in good position. He just has a little glance to see where the keeper is. And there's no need. The pace on it is perfect for him. He just needs to walk round Boric. And there's no opportunity for Boric to do anything if his touch is decent. He just froze. He simply froze. I seen him have a shot about 20 minutes into the game, and it's one of the worst shots I've seen this season. He just about made the corner flag from 20 yards in the middle of the goal. And it just summed up his performance so far. And it's been lacking. Both sides have lacked it, but we have to ask more of Celtic.
OK, we shall see what happens in the next 45 minutes. Stay with us. Here on a pretty chilly Glasgow evening, Celtic fans hoping that their side can make it through to the semi-final. We're about to find out. The second half is next.
What do you think? There you go, put it on your head. That's lovely, Princess Miranda. Looks like it. I like it there, that's good.
Teaching children about the solar system doesn't have to take place in the classroom.
If it's 0.6, it'll be 12 o'clock. It'll be 60. There you go, that's 240 metres.
And rotate, please.
Keep moving, spin.
Keep going.
Where are you going?
Turn your talent to teaching. Visit teach.gov.uk.
I'm a new soul.
strange world, hoping I could learn a bit about how to give and take. I'm a young soul in this very strange world, hoping I could learn a bit about what is true and fake. La 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 la.
So, she's got the house, the car, the lot.
You're going to get yourself online, mate. Find someone else. Listen, Tiscali are doing their best ever broadband deal at the moment. Up to 8 meg superfast broadband, a free wireless router, and weekend calls to UK and top international destinations. All for just $6.49 a month.
My friend really fancies you.
Unbelievable.
I know. Broadband for $6.49.
For superfast broadband from just $6.49, call Tiscali now on 0800 107 9000.
With more destinations, more people have gone away with teletext holidays. Visit Sky Channel 662 or Freeview Channel 101.
Now you can take off in one of the most eye-popping, high-flying comedies of the year.
Right in the beat!
Porky, here's a Who.
A Michelin tire could last more than once around the world. That's why Michelin makes sure that it performs from the first to the last mile. Michelin.
PlayStation 3 brings online racing to another level with up to 16 players in every race. Drivers of the world, start your engines. Gran Turismo 5 Prologue, exclusively on PlayStation 3.
TravelSupermarket.com compares the prices of thousands of holidays. So if you're looking for a cheap getaway for the family, or if you want to spoil yourself in the Caribbean, TravelSupermarket.com compares the market in seconds. Visit TravelSupermarket.com for holidays, travel insurance, car hire, flights, and more. TravelSupermarket.com, the price comparison site.
For Glasgow, turn left. Take the next right. Continue straight on. Keep going straight on. Now, enjoy.
The Peugeot 207. For a 24-hour test drive, text 24 to 60222. Peugeot, the drive of your life.
This Easter on Sky One, a special treat for the whole family.
Is it chocolate?
As we colour your long weekend like never before.
Yay!
We'll colour it black. Jack Black.
Ho, head rush.
In brand new Simpsons. Soap, sitcom and celebrity families show their true colours as we count down 50 greatest families. And join David Jason as he leads an all-star cast in Terry Pratchett's The Colour of Magic. It's colourful. It's Easter. It's Sky One.
Right, show's over. That first goal scorer's killed it for me. Ouch, out, come on.
Sky Bet. It matters more when there's money on it.
More live action coming your way on Sky Sports. Friday, Charlton West Brom from the Championship, 4:30 Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Then on Saturday, Harry takes Portsmouth to White Hart Lane to face Tottenham, 12:30 Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And Saturday at 5:15, Gary McAllister and Leeds at home to Walsall at Elland Road, 5:15 Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Then Sunday, what a day Sunday, Grand Slam Sunday. Manchester United against Liverpool, 1 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And then on the same channel at 3:30, Chelsea against Arsenal. What a double bill, Grand Slam Sunday. Now, tonight, the other Cup quarter-final replay is on the go. and it's at Love Street, Paisley, and St Mirren are having a nightmare. 3-0 they're down to Derek McInnes's St Johnstone, Quinn, Jackson and McDonald. So St Johnstone look out of sight, and they look more likely to be the team that will face the winners of Rangers or Partick Thistle. Quite a scoreline that, Charlie.
Yeah.
A disappointing scoreline here, though, with no goals. What can you hope for?
I've got to hope for this, the fact that Celtic are the home side, and I've got to up the pace, and I've got to get their fluency going and pin Aberdeen back. You know, they've had a couple of little chances, and Aberdeen have still got to play with a partnership up front. Luke will probably come on, we believe, at half time for Tuzani.
There he is, he's coming on.
Well, he's a tidy player, he's got lovely ability, but can he get high up the pitch to go and really trouble Hinkle? Maybe that's what they're thinking of doing, but they'll have to be aware of how deep they're going to leave this space between the strikers and midfield, so that Brown and Donati have eventually got to grasp this game and change it for Celtic. So it's a positive one, it's an attacking one in my opinion for Jimmy Calderwood, but will it change the format? Will Celtic suddenly, you know, go for the jugular and liven things up second half?
Well, the Celtic players owe it to their fans who've come out tonight, Charlie, because right now the fans are pretty subdued because they're not seeing very much to excite them.
Well, there's been a lot recently that the Celtic fans have sat there and watched it, and it's not been quite fluent and it's not been as energetic as they would like. You know, and it's a team that has to win tonight. They've got their troubles in the league. They must go and win this game. Result is probably more important than performance, but Celtic fans want both.
OK, let's get to it. It's 0-0, remember. It's the quarter-final replay, a place in the semi-finals up for grabs to face Queen of the South. Who will get there, Celtic or Aberdeen? We go to a conclusion tonight. Extra time and penalties if required. Let's rejoin Davy Provan and Bill Leslie. Bill.
Well, it's turning into quite a saga, isn't it? This Scottish Cup quarter-final between these two. 135 minutes played, just those 2 goals in the first meeting up at Pittodrie. Nothing between the two sides as we play to the finish here tonight. There you see Sonny Aluko, the change. It's going to lead to a little bit of a reshuffle, we think, in the heart of the midfield. Suddenly Aluko's gone over to that left side. Foster's come down here to the right. So Barry Nicholson, Davey, by the look of things, going to move into the engine room now.
Yeah, Barry Nicholson will play beside Scott Severin. Barry Nicholson more than happy to play in the central role. And no surprise to me that Forster has been switched to the right-hand side. I don't think Aluko would track the running of Lee Naylor down that side. So no surprise that this Forster has been switched.
No goals in the first 45 minutes. And Mabry comes across to cut out early Celtic hopes of launching a meaningful attack in this second half. Beaten semi-finalists Aberdeen this season in such disappointing style in the CIS Cup by Dundee United. It's their last hope of doing anything, and certainly in terms of keeping a path back to European football open. Gordon Strachan decided to leave his side as he started the match. Georgios Samaras among the substitutes. I'm sure we'll see the Greek at some point here this evening. Started the last outing here a weekend ago, or a week ago I should say, against Dundee United, as did this man, Aidan McGeady. Come off Zander Darmand. Aluko the substitute, first on the scene. Bounced off McDonald.
That ball out of defence from Scott Severin, just typical of Aberdeen, why they're not getting out, why they're not getting up the pitch. Talking earlier on about how they're struggling to support Miller. They've got to get it to Miller first, before they can support him.
Different partner for Miller than in the first meeting, of course, young Chris Maguire, who started the weekend game over Gretna, but is among the substitutes again. A rare goal for him as well at the weekend in that 3-0 win over the club struggling for their very existence. Well, and Mabry not in agreement now that it should be a Celtic ball.
I think he's got a case, Alan Mabry. I think there's an awful lot in this. It's been a good match, you know. Mabry's been quick enough, he's got a good change of pace to match McGeady. I think that's of the soft variety.
On loan, Alan Mabry from Leicester City until the end of the season. A piece of business that by Jimmy Calderwood, it would seem. But a free kick to defend here, Nakamura. McManus in there, he met it. Should be Souters. Struggled to get there through a crowd of players, so had to flap it away. McDonald. Caldwell. Trying to pick the pass to Scott Brown. Miller back there doing some defending. No one up the pitch for Aberdeen. Celtic can keep this territorial pressure on. Scott Brown, Vinegar of Hesseling.
Good defending. Xander Diamond well positioned there. It's exactly where you'd expect him to be there as Vinegar of Hesseling made the run into the box.
Strangely enough, Aberdeen have a pretty good record in the Cup on this ground, unbeaten in the last 3 meetings, stretching back to the 1950s. 1951, the last time Celtic won a Cup tie against Aberdeen here at Celtic Park. Meetings few and far between since then. Many expected that this would be a formality. So far hasn't turned out that way at all. Celtic have had their moments, had their chances. Scott McDonald with the best of them, but just hasn't happened for them. Donati. Vinegar of Hesseling. Bounced off the face of Xander Diamond. Aidan McGeady. And another run at Maybury. And Foster.
Well, Maybury forcing Aidan McGeady onto his right side there, but he is two-footed. And the chance Aberdeen take here is that if it does open up for him on the inside, he's capable from that range, that angle.
Strangely enough, for all the contributions he has made, Aidan McGeady, to this football club, never scored a goal in the Scottish Cup yet. Given away to Nicholson. Miller has worked it through for Mackie. Now Foster, advantage played. Alan Maybury. Must be a throw for Celtic to defend right in the corner there.
That's just one they send the centre, but certainly Xander Diamond will go up. This is as good as a corner here from Scott Severn, I'd imagine, who'll take the throw in. He's got 2 targets, he's got Miller, and he's got Diamond, who challenged for the first ball.
And the giant Severn throw. Scott Brown did well to stop it getting to Xander Diamond, but Manus out wide. Severn might get that. Naylor does. Maybury. Over the head of Miller. Doesn't have an awful lot to do this evening after Boruc. That nervy moment at the end of the first half. Ricky Foster failed to capitalise on the McManus mistake. About as worrying as it's got for Boruc. Nicholson. Manus pretty commanding there. And here comes Miller back again. Caught by Brown. Free kick here for Aberdeen.
I don't think it's a bad free kick to give away because Aluko is wide open on the left-hand side there if Miller is allowed to run on unchallenged there.
Maybury, he's got space to run into here for Aberdeen and go for goal.
One thing he proved there is that he can get his left foot through the ball. With a little bit too much cut spin on it, always moving away from that far post. He's certainly got plenty of zip on it. After Boruc out, asking why the ball wasn't pressed a bit quicker.
This time with Leicester, played just over 100 games, averaged a goal every 30 or 40 games for them. Well, he felt that he was elbowed, Xander Diamond, and certainly something's hit him in the face.
Well, it was Jan Vennegood of Hesseling 2 or 3 minutes ago. Aerial challenge, and Diamond, to be fair, after complaining, got on with it.
You're running repairs, temporarily down to 10 men, Aberdeen. Not far from down and out in the tie. Nakamura crowded out of it by Darren Mackie at the expense of a Celtic free kick, which Nakamura will get on here. Slipped by Brown, recovered by Mackie. He's ready to return, Sander Diamond. ...347 games he played in the famous hoops, Jackie McNamara. Doubling up with Aluko, but failing to stop this Celtic attack in the bud. Donati looking for McGeady, read again by Mabry. McManus. Aidan McGeady. Mackie. He's given it straight to Scott Brown. They've won it back well though, Aberdeen. Ricky Foster operating now on the right-hand side after the half-time tinkerings by Jimmy Calderwood. Celtic seeking the spark from one of their big names to try and tip this tie in their favour. Well, they've learned from bitter experience in the first meeting, of course, that Celtic are not beaten right until the end. But the longer it goes, goalless here, the more that Aberdeen will have a hope that they might be able to nick one. That would seem the most likely path if they are to succeed in pulling off the unlikely here. It is extraordinary though, isn't it? And time again, both the old firm sides manage to produce what they need. Upwards of 11 late goals they've scored in the last 5 minutes this season. Trying to do it a little bit earlier here, but Scott McDonald, well marshalled by a combination of Aluko and Sander Diamond. Caldwell, Donati, off goes McDonald. Considine for company. Andres Hinkle. Hinkle!
Oh, he did well to shift onto his left side. It's Jackie McNamara who's right in his face as he receives here. Quick foot, quick feet here to make the space. Got the shot away quickly enough. Never a problem for Derek Suter.
He's opened his account already since his January move. The solitary goal coming here in the emphatic win against Hearts earlier in the year. Good experience of cup success as well during his time with Seville. Andreas Hinkle, winner of the Spanish Cup and UEFA Cup double last year, although he wasn't involved in either final. He's been left for dead here by Sonny Aluko. A burst of pace to take him beyond the German fullback.
The final ball let him down. Had good support in the box as well, but encouraging there for Jimmy Calderwood with the way he left Hinkle for dead.
Nakamura, back comes Nicholson. Noticeable to see 3 Aberdeen players in close proximity to Nakamura in double quick time. Taking another bang here, Sander Diamond. He's down. Vennegoor of Hesseling looks to thread the pass through. He's in real trouble here, Sander Diamond.
Same 2 players again. I just wonder how much Charlie Richmond saw this. Oh, he's certainly leading with his right elbow. I'm not convinced he puts his elbow into Sander Diamond's face. He is leading with it. Most of them jump with their elbows up.
He was coming in at quite some pace though, Sander Diamond, wasn't it? So any sort of contact with the elbow was going to lead to this sort of injury, but 2 in quick succession like that can be counted as coincidence, perhaps unlucky, certainly. Well, he's vitally important, Sander Diamond, at both ends of the field, isn't he, to what Aberdeen do. Jimmy Calderwood will desperately hope he doesn't have to make another change here.
I don't think he does. I think Sander Diamond's of the game variety. I think he'll want to see it out.
Well, if he is unable to continue, look at that, a nasty cut under the eye. Bleeding from the mouth a few moments ago as well. He will really feel like he's been 10 rounds with Ricky Hatton after this one. Well, let's have a look at the double blow here, Davey. This was the first one.
Yeah, again, well, that time there is I think Vennegoor of Hesselink is reckless with the elbow, because to follow through with the elbow there. The second one, I think less intent than that. In fact, no intent in the second one.
Well, he needs to return to his corner, really, to be patched up, doesn't he, in between rounds? That's how bad it looks there for Zander Darman.
Well, I don't have much time to make the decision. They look as if they're going to try and Vaseline it, try and stem it and get him back on. At the moment, it's Scott Severin who's back there beside Considine. But he won't want to play a man light for any length of time here, Jimmy Calderwood.
Look at that, the eye closing up as well. Well, they do have to make a change. They got Lee Maher as defensive cover. Celtic look to capitalise with Aberdeen a man down. Hinkle couldn't find the path through to Nakamura. It's all hands on deck here for Aberdeen to keep Celtic at bay when they have that one-man advantage. Here's Miller, needs to hold on to it. Can't do that. Aidan McGeady. Lee Naylor. Vennegoor of Hesselink waits in the middle. It won't get through to him. It'll come to McGeady, who fires wide.
Well, that's a real chance. Half volley's never easy, but he's got loads of time here, Aidan McGeady. I'm surprised Naylor didn't take the shot on. Even from this angle, I'm surprised he doesn't put his left foot right through the ball here on the target. Tries to pick out a cross, and Aidan McGeady has loads of time there. And even on the half volley, the ball is on the up, but he should be doing better.
Well, good chances in both halves for Celtic. Zander Darman, as well as the cut, having problems with his contact lenses. So if he scoots up the tunnel to try and put that right, still they battle on a man light. There's McDonald with a good opportunity for Celtic in the first half. Equally good there, perhaps more difficult for Aidan McGeady. Half an hour of normal time. A reminder that if it's needed, extra time, and if they're needed, penalties will follow. Celtic with a congested and highly important SPL schedule to come won't want an extra sapping for 30 minutes to add to the 90 here. But it's determined and defiant from Aberdeen, and who knows, might just be the way forward to the semi-finals.
Got to hold on here until they get Diamond back on the pitch. Defensively, there's no change. It's two banks of four. Mackie's dropped into midfield.
McGeady, Nakamura. Good solid defending again from Mabry, who's having another strong night. Well, just as in the first meeting, it's another solid team display from Aberdeen. Caldwell. Hinkle. Can't shake off Aluko.
I just wonder how much longer Aberdeen can leave this. They just can't get out at all. It was difficult enough for them to get out with two up, but they just can't get out at all at the moment. Obviously determined to get, well, here he comes.
Seconds out. Zander Darman had a resigned look on his face there. I'm not sure that we are going to see any more of him, and as we said before, Lee Maher will be the likely man to come on and replace him. Still a man down though, in by Aidan McGeady. As the bruise swells under his eye, not sure he can see much out of that fast darkening wound around his eye, Zander Darman, so that's why they're going to make the change any minute, but not before Celtic have another crack at finding a way through. And interestingly, Support just starting to become a little critical as Celtic ran to another brick wall. Here's Sonny Aluko. McDonald. Scott Brown. Back to McDonald. Naylor. McGeady. It's got beyond Mackie.
Expect a better ball in from Ed McGeady. You'd just be surprised that Alan Maybury wasn't in his face there as he received. That's been the story of the night so far.
Angled out of play so they can make the change here, Aberdeen. Well, we've heard word from the Aberdeen doctor that because the eye is closing over, Sander Damen not allowed on medical advice to carry on. So that's why the change has been made. As you said, Davey, I'm sure he was keen to get back out there and help his teammates, but safety first, the correct decision. Nakamura. Naylor. McGeady trying to spin in behind. Snapping at his heels all the way, Alan Maybury. Finally shaking him off, Aidan McGeady. This is Massimo Donati, and that is a stinging drive wide.
It's a chance to get something on target, not the worst effort. He had plenty of time to get out of his feet. I think it's Lee Mayer who comes out to the ball. McGeady did brilliantly, first of all, to retain possession under pressure from Maybury. And that's about the closest Celtic have come in the second half.
Look at that nasty cut, isn't it, for Sander Damen. Severin. Mayer. Maybury. Hinkle. Possession without penetration again for Celtic. They'd hope to have this one wrapped up by now, but it's proving a frustrating night here in the East End of Glasgow for the home side again. Similar story to this time last week when Dundee United came here and frustrated. It's like that zip, that cutting edge that characterised them earlier on this season. That could change. Considine cuts it out.
Good cross from Hinkle. Something much more productive in the fullback positions now that they have two natural wide players there. We talked about McManus defending the front post well in the first half, and Considine did well there.
Had only ever known a winning feeling against his former club, Gordon Strachan, before these cup ties. The draw ended Celtic's winning run in all competitions of 7 in the first meeting. So far, so good from Aberdeen's viewpoint and game plan. And they capitalise in attack, though. Sonny Aluko, it's blocked by Hinkle. As expected, the chances for Aberdeen have been far from plentiful. Standout one, the slip by McManus, which very nearly gifted Foster in the dying seconds of the first half. One chance, one goal. Is that going to be the story for Aberdeen? Might have to be. 3-1 defeat and a 5-1 defeat at home and a 3-0 defeat here. It's the story of the league meetings. It's been different in the cup though. Very much telling the story of Aberdeen's season. They've been good in the cups, but league consistency has deserted them. And a corner here for them to ask a few questions. So we approach the halfway point of this second half.
Did well to win it. Weren't going to get a cross in from the wide area. Quite happily take a corner here. Both Mayer and Considine have gone up.
Nicholson to swing it in. Vennegoor of Hesseling's back there. Considine couldn't get the touch. Might just fall here for the defender. It's away by Vennegoor of Hesseling. Trying to keep the pressure on here. Good touch, Mackey! Darren Mackey gives Aberdeen a Celtic Park lead. As in the first meeting, the Dons are ahead. This time, can they hold on?
Well, he hasn't had a sniff all night, Darren Mackey. First chance he gets, he buries it, and he just puts it right through after Boriccia. McManus did brilliantly with the block, first of all. As it comes back in, he's onside, he's level. McManus can't make the challenge, and he just powers it underneath the Polish keeper. Initially, McManus did brilliantly to make the block, but the ball comes straight back in. Now 6 to 8 minutes gone. I'm sure Jimmy Calderwood would rather the clock was saying 88, but he'll take the lead nevertheless.
That's what we were saying, isn't it? One chance, one goal. The story of Darren Mackey's night. And suddenly the pressure on Celtic to find something builds. Nakamura. Brown. McDonald. Aberdeen will be determined to ensure that they don't fall victim to the old adage of conceding after going ahead. An intriguing last quarter to this replay we have in store now. Beaten on their own patch by SPL opposition in the League Cup, Celtic trailing in the Scottish Cup. Yet again their grip on the trophy looks very frail indeed. I don't think we need to add that they will fight right to the finish. Free kick here for Aberdeen.
Well, it was a poor pass from Darren Mackey initially to concede possession here for Aberdeen. And it's 50-50 between Donati and Severin. And that's a follow through from Donati that does the damage. Severin always getting there first.
Parallels with the first meeting, obvious. Aberdeen taking the lead, although they have 10 minutes longer this time to hold out, that when Jeffrey Davisha found a way past Arthur Boruc up at Pittodrie 9 days ago. Man. McNamara. Naylor. Brown. McGeady. More urgency about this Celtic attack. Away by Lee Mayer, the substitute. Barry Nicholson. Now Lee Miller. Caldwell commits himself.
Oh, this will certainly be a yellow card. He's caught him in the half turn there. What a turn he's done, Gary Caldwell here. If he doesn't produce a yellow card, he's 5 minutes late.
Still no yellow cards in this cup tie. It should be a relief to the 6 or so players out there who would miss the semi-final if they go through. Aidan McGeady, he's one of them for Celtic. At the moment, the semi-final looks a long way away for Celtic. 3-time Scottish Cup winners in the last 4 seasons. Double dreams on the line here as Mackey, the goal scorer, comes forward. A second would surely give Celtic too much to do.
Well, I think Celtic should have had a free kick. Maybe on Donati. But Hinkle did well either way to tuck in and defend.
Donati. Back comes Foster. Jackie McNamara. No way through to Sonny Aluko. There is a way though to Shunsuke Nakamura. Scott Brown. Tried by Aluko, and that could prove a costly free kick to give away.
It's just mistimed, typical winger's challenge, if you like. They're asking a lot even from Nakamura, although with this talent, you never know.
Scott McDonald had his chance in the first half. His chance has gone. Georgios Samaras, the big Greek, comes on.
This is probably in exactly the same position from which he scored against Manchester United in the Champions League. Derek Suter giving him the respect he deserves here.
And Nakamura, who's had his critics over the last few months since he's returned from the injury which has taken a lot of his football away this season, has a chance now to make another big impact on another big night for Celtic. Nakamura, Suter turns it round.
It's so difficult to score from that range. He gets so much action on the ball. And Suter's always getting there. Not one he could take into his gloves. Did well to get it wide.
Celtic corner. Slip by Nakamura. Venegor of Hesseling. Samaras just can't get it beyond Suter. Now McGeady. It's last-ditch stuff from Aberdeen as they clear their lines. Back in by Gary Caldwell. Samaras won't get there. Considine will. And Scott Brown out towards McManus, the makeshift winger for Celtic. Brown, there's space for him here. Scott Brown. And away as far as Mackie. Donati has it back. Celtic can turn the screw again. Aidan McGeady. Two for company, but McGeady still gets the cross in, touched on by Brown, and it loops up to a relieved Suter.
I think he's trying to find somebody, he's trying to find a runner behind him. He can't score from there, Scott Brown. Jimmy Calderwood will be aware of just how many times Celtic dig a result out when they look dead and buried. He'll be taking nothing for granted here.
Hinkle. Deflected cross. Away, not convincingly, by Considine, only as far as Massimo Donati. Now Scott Brown. Turn from Brown, looking for Nakamura. Hooked away well by Nicholson. They frustrated the mighty Germans. Bayern Munich at home in the UEFA Cup enjoyed a memorable night against Copenhagen, echoing the Alex Ferguson years. Well, Sir Alex was manager of Aberdeen the last time that they won here 29 years ago in the Scottish Cup. Just under a quarter of an hour to hold on.
Got to keep somebody up front here, Aberdeen. Everybody's dropped off here. There's no out ball at all.
It is a Celtic siege. Nakamura looking for Venegor of Hesseling, closed out, hooked on by Aluko. Caldwell. Hinkle. Nakamura. McGeady for Naylor. Lee Naylor picking it for Venegor of Hesseling and deflected wide. Not sure he knew too much about that, Andrew Considine.
Well, I don't think he did, but he did brilliantly just to be in there at all. If that hits the target, I think he's scoring. Derek Suter going across to his left-hand post, wrong-footed. Wow, what a clearance.
So the pressure gauge continues to rise in and around the Aberdeen goal. Nakamura looks to whip that one in. Suter couldn't take a chance.
Well, certainly couldn't try and catch it right under his crossbar, probably expecting to be hit there as he extended his arms. And this is going to be a long 13-14 minutes for the Dons.
thought it was nervy at home as they look to hold on. This is going to seem like an absolute marathon, these closing stages to this one. But the prize at the end is priceless. Nakamura, Considine again. Aidan McGeady trying to get it back in, no way beyond Maybury. Nakamura, Naylor, Samaras. Held off the Aberdeen advance as well. Look for the free kick. Samaras won't come. Aidan McGeady. Now Hinkle. McGeady's continued his run. Hinkle, Vinegar of Esselink.
Didn't get it, it's off the shoulder. But he did lose Considine on that occasion. It's a terrific ball in from Hinkle. And this comes off his shoulder. Well, he loses the defender. And he doesn't get it clean at all.
Celtic saviour last time out. Not yet, not this time. Another one of the heroes against Bayern. Going to come on here, Josh Walker. Jackie McNamara hasn't started a match in the last 8. No wonder he hasn't lasted the full 90 here against his former club. And youth replaces experience, and another little reshuffle. Ricky Foster, I'm sure, will go back into the back line.
Looks as if it's going to be 5 across. Darren Mackie, I think, is going to play wide of a 5-man midfield. Lee Miller up on his own now.
McManus. Samaras, beaten by Considine. Here's Aluko. Just over 10 minutes left to play. Celtic's winless march has just taken a turn for the worst. And Aberdeen, who'd gone 9 games without a win before the weekend win against Gretna, now look like they're closing in on back-to-back wins for the first time since December. The 10 minutes we have left is a yawning 10 minutes as far as Aberdeen are concerned. Nakamura. They look for the penalty, Celtic. Aberdeen get the goal kick.
Well, I don't think it was a penalty. Again, it's a coming together. Huge appeal from the crowd, as you'd expect. I don't think there's much in that.
It's heating up. Well, so far for Jimmy Calderwood and Aberdeen, the script has been exactly as they would have hoped. Soak up the pressure, watch Celtic have a lot of the match, most of the match, most of the chances. Catch them napping with one, take the lead. Now all they need to do is close it out, hold on to it. And it will be they who will go to Hampden next month to take on Queen of the South in the Scottish Cup semi-final. First semi-final since 2000 when they were beaten finalists. One thing would make this closing of the match a little more bearable, and that's a second Aberdeen goal. Maybury went for the cutback off the heels of Brown. This is Mackie who got the first. Darren Mackie. Oh, the nutmeg Scott Brown. Well, 29 years since the last cup win. Not quite that long since the last win here in all competitions, but a symmetry. Darren Mackie scored the last time Aberdeen won here. He's scored here this evening. This is Nakamura for Celtic. This is Georgios Samaras. Left the ball behind.
Oh, priceless touch there from Lee Mayer. He's determined that he didn't want to make the tackle.
Here's Miller. He's on his own. Nicholson comes to give him some support. Very isolated figure here, Lee Miller. Heads for the corner.
I think he's won a free kick, but it's a wise decision. There was nothing in the box. And he did well to check out into the wide area.
I was going to have a word here, Charlie Richmond, with Stephen McManus. There was the push there, that's why there's the free kick. Then he threw the ball at the Aberdeen player. Understandably, absolutely no rush from Aberdeen to get on with this one. Nicholson, Scott Severin, Mabry. Nicholson flicks it off Aidan McGeady. McGeady, that's the way to get out of a tight corner. Scott Brown saw off Nicholson, finds Hinkle. Samaras. Hinkle on the overlap. Here is the German fullback, a signing from Sevilla. On Manchester City man Samaras hoists it up towards Venegorov Esseling and away by Mabry. Well, you know, it's unusual times at Celtic Park when you see Derek Rarden coming on. Scored valuable goals in the cup run to ultimate triumph last season, hasn't really had much of a look in this year. On he comes for Gary Caldwell as Celtic start to up the stakes and take risks. They have to. The cup is slipping away from them.
It's a gamble he has to take. Aberdeen are playing with only one up at the moment anyway, Lee Miller. So it'll be McManus and one of the fullbacks against Miller, but it gives Celtic an extra body further up the pitch.
Yellow card for Alan Mabry, the first of the night. Here's Hinkle. Venegorov Esseling, Georgios Samaras! Suter's there, it's loose! And away by Ricky Foster in the nick of time.
Almost a costly spill there from Derek Suter, and there's not great deal of pace on the shot either. Unfortunately enough for him, it was a red jersey that was first on the scene.
We're in the last 5 minutes. Naylor. Brown. High boot by Scott Brown.
I think quite happily Scott Severin will take a boot in the face there to win the free kick. Become an absolute siege here.
Well, the Alan Mabry booking a few moments ago was for descent towards the linesman, unhappy with the decision that had gone against him. Images after the Celtic equaliser in the first meeting, which said absolutely everything you needed to know about the pain of it being snatched away, the place in the semi-finals from Aberdeen. Not given a prayer, really, of coming here and getting a mightily rare win, but again, they're within touching distance of knocking the holders out of the Scottish Cup, ending Celtic's double dream. Naylor. Mabry, who has been excellent again, puts it behind.
Rather than just trying to help on into the 6-yard box, Mabry well positioned.
Nakamura's corner. Another hurdle ridden for Aberdeen. Ambitious ball from Naylor as he tried to spin it out to Nakamura. Had to be inch perfect, it wasn't. Gordon Strachan appealing for calm. It's all very well, but time is running out. So many times they've done it. And they dig it out again, Celtic. Before the match, Extra time would have been very low on the list of priorities for Celtic. Now they might just take it. Here's Nakamura. Spinning ball, awkward for Mabry. Samras making it even more so, but it's away by the on-loan Leicester man.
Been terrific again tonight, Alan Mabry. It'll be hard to pick a man of the match, but Alan Mabry has to be in contention.
He'd be right up there, wouldn't he? Lee Naylor. That's an inviting one. But Suter accepts the invitation and clears. Now Sonny Aluko looking for a little youthful exuberance to run it away. Instead he just eats up a few more seconds by rolling it up to Arthur Boruc. Oh, we're queuing up here for Celtic. Riordan has put it wide.
I just wonder how much he got on the ball here, but once again Mabry did brilliant, because Mabry's wrong side here. Riordan's coming in on his blind side, and Mabry realises at the last moment there and applies just enough pressure to make sure Riordan doesn't get it clean, doesn't get it all his own way. Terrific defending.
There would have been quite a way to come in for the cold for Derek Riordan. Hinkle goes long. Celtic need to do that. Venegorov Hessling, here's Georgios Samaras. Free kick. Charlie Richmond blows the whistle. And we're into the last minute here, Davey.
Well, I think you see Venegorov Hessling was holding Mabry down here. Left arms up, he's just making sure Mabry's not going to get up. On his shoulder, it's Lee Mayer in fact. But it's a good spot from Charlie Richmond.
Well, we're into heartbreak territory again for Aberdeen. Or who knows, maybe fairy tale territory. Either way, the dying seconds of normal time. Anxious Aberdeen eyes look towards the fourth official to see how much time will be added on. Venegorov Hessling couldn't get there. Mackie. Either way, it's been a tremendous effort by Aberdeen, albeit against an off-colour Celtic at times tonight. Samaras. Georgios Samaras deflected. And the referee has spotted a handball in there, I think. Yellow card for Donati for something he said.
The two centre-backs of Aberdeen have done magnificently, even more so late in the game when Celtic have gone long. They've been under so much pressure. They've been against Samaras for handball, and rightly so again.
A yellow card for Massimo Donati in the early stages of the 3 minutes of added time that we have. It's not over till it's over, but it's so close, tantalisingly close for Aberdeen now. Celtic started the month of March in 3 competitions. In 2 minutes' time, they might just be focusing on the league. And an uphill task they face there as well. McManus. Hinkle. Georgios Samaras. Venegorov Hessling are on the deck. But still no way through for Celtic. Naylor. That's Riordan. Georgios Samaras, Considine. Alert, alive and clears. Disbelief around large portions of Celtic Park. They can't believe we're now in the last minute of added time. Scottish Cup quarter-final replay. Celtic corner.
Well, if ever they needed their goalkeeper and their 2 centre-backs, it's right now. Somebody to put their head in.
It was never going to be routine for Aberdeen to see this one out, was it? Arthur Boric is up. Well, he got the contact, not the direction.
He made it his, didn't he? Every right to come up at this stage in the game. Manis underneath it. Oh, didn't even see it after Boric turned away from it.
They're streaming for the exits here at Celtic Park. Many of the crowd think it's over. Well, it very, very nearly is semi-final time for Aberdeen. Surely even the great escape artists cannot pull this one off. Up towards Samaras. They've done it. Aberdeen have knocked the Scottish Cup holders out, and they've done it in their own backyard. Rare celebrations. Aberdeen have won here in the Scottish Cup for the first time since the days of Sir Alex Ferguson back in 1979. A match on which Aberdeen's season hinged has taken them to the Scottish Cup semi-final against Queen of the South. Darren Mackey, the goal scorer. And Jimmy Calderwood, after the pain of being denied late first time out 9 days ago, can now celebrate a mighty achievement.
Well, I don't think anyone who saw the first game would grudge Aberdeen their moment here. Snatched from them at Pittodrie. They've come here tonight, it's been backs to the wall all the way. They have defended out of their skins this evening, and they've had to. Particularly in the second half when Celtic were knocking it long, the two centre-backs, magnificent. They had one chance in the match, Darren Mackey made it count, and however little they were in the game, well, you can't grudge them on what we saw at Pittodrie 9 days ago.
Darren Mackey's first goal in 11 games means Aberdeen are going to Hampden to the semi-finals for the first time since 2000. They've beaten Celtic here by 1-0.
What a night for the Aberdeen supporters who've made the trip from the northeast down to Glasgow for the Scottish Cup quarter-final replay, and the Dons won it. So, after all that, it's Aberdeen who